In the previous video, we looked at the designing of this 3D isometric model. This model is designed in third angle orthographic projection. It is isometric because the base angles on the right and the left of this model is at an angle of 30 degrees, and we have the lowest starting position over here where the paint bucket is indicating. So in this short video, which is the second phase of the 3 videos that I would like to make on the explanation of using this model and the transition from 3D to 2D, I would just like to talk about the different views of this model, in particular the front, the top and the right view. And because this model is in third angle, I'm going to use colors to explain the different views, and I will allocate a specific color to each of those views. So let's start with the front view. The front view will then be these layers that I indicate in green now, and the top view will be what I indicate in blue, and my side view, which is the right view in third angle, will then be these levels that I indicate now. So therefore we have our front, top and side view having the green representing the front, blue the top view and red the right view in third angle orthographic projection. So what we want to do is explain now further on from here how to transition this model, which is presented here in third angle, onto a 2D orthographic page where we see each of the views individually. So here, as isometric definition tells us, is that we see all 3 views simultaneously, and because it's at an angle of 30 degrees, we will see the same size proportion of each view equally to one another in third angle isometric because of the 30-degree base angles. So what I also want to do is just explain to you, using now this model, what it is that we will do on the 2D paper by transitioning it here in Sketchup from 3D to 2D, so that you get used to the layout and the presentation of the model when it is seen in 2D. So I emphasize once again, currently it's in 3D isometric, and we see our 3 views simultaneously. However, when we are looking at it in 2D orthographic, we're going to see only one view of the model at a time. So let me explain what to do there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt this model so that we do the transition now from 3D to 2D, and that we can see exactly what it is that we're going to see on paper when we design this as a 2D orthographic drawing. So this that we now are looking at is a 90-degree view from left to right on the model that we had in 3D, and this will be what is presented to us at an angle of 90 degrees in 2D. So this is our 2D orthographic front view. If we swivel it back and we angle it again at an angle of 30 degrees, we now again see our from left to right our front view, which is the green colored parts, as our front view in 3D isometric. If we want to see the right view in 2D orthographic and how it will be presented on paper when drawn in 2D, we will then just swivel and we will look from right to left, and we will swivel, continue to swivel this view till we can only see the faces of the right view at an angle of 90 degrees from right to left. And this is what we will then see on our 2D orthographic drawing as the right view. Now we will also see that there is a line here that indicates where the depth of the one level, the closest level of the model, which is here, and then where we will see the second layer of the depth of the model when looking at it from right to left, and that would be this part here. And because there is a depth difference, we will see this line. So wherever there is difference in levels or depths, we will see a line that will then indicate that there is in fact a depth or a difference in the depth of these two levels. Good, so that is the right view in 3D isometric and the transition to 2D. If we were to look at this model now in 2D from the top, we will then swivel this top view so that we can see the top view straight down, and look closely. I first turned the model towards the front view, and then I tilted it 90 degrees down towards the front view, and that is then how I will then see my 2D orthographic view of the top view. So let me just straighten this out. That's close enough. So now we have our 2D orthographic view of the top view, and remember it is now tilted towards the front view. We will always tilt the top view towards the front view to see what the layout of that top view will look like. And again, we will see the dark solid lines at the left and the right that represents this height difference that we have when we have tilted and did the transition from 3D to 2D. So there we have our 2D orthographic top view as we would see it when we draw it on paper. Good, and then we will just return it back to its normal state in 3D. And just one last emphasis here is, please remember that the base corners or angles of our model must be at an angle of 30 degrees for it to be called a 3D isometric drawing. Okay, so that is the summary of the transition from 3D to 2D with the different color coding and then the front, top and side view